Hello out there, Roller Derby Nation. My name is Justice Feelgood Marshall, and I'm going to bring you into the final game of Saturday action here at BESTERNS in Denver, Colorado. The hosting league, Rocky Mountain Roller Girls, are going up against Jet City in the second semifinal to see who is going to play in tomorrow's championship BESTERNS bout. So far, Rocky Mountain has won one game to get here, knocking off Wasatch last night in a 223-98 upset. Rocky Mountain came into that game ranked 46. Wasatch just one above at 45. On the other side, though, Jet City has had a bracket-busting weekend. They came in ranked number 58 in the WFTDA and the number 9 seed. They went on to defeat number 8 seed Boulder, and then in the quarterfinals took out the number 1 seed in the highest-ranked team in the tournament, Tucson, in a big 209-119 finish. Now, Rocky Mountain and Jet City in action, seeing who will face Arizona in tomorrow's final. First jam is on. Ivana Hercia for Jet City and Mars Furiosity wearing the star for Rocky Mountain. Rocky Mountain is in the black and red, Jet City in the white. It's Ivana Hercia near the top of the pack, trying to fight her way out. Both jammers stuck for about 20 seconds here. We got a whistle, we got a lead jammer. It's Rocky Mountain's Mars Furiosity. Off to the box as Rocky blocker is Assault and Peppa. Ivana Hercia has now been lapped by Mars Furiosity as she enters for her first points. Jet City loses a blocker to the box as well. That is Rock and Roll Chola. Mars Furiosity trying to bang away past the Bombshell. Bombshell standing strong though. Mars Furiosity now stuck behind Beethoven's Fist. Looks back at the approaching Ivana Hercia and calls it off. That's going to stake Rocky to a 5-0 lead to start this game. Decent crowd out here to see their home team take on the team from Everett, Washington, Jet City. Jet City, of course, went into last year's Division II playoffs as a number 1 seed. They were ranked 42 at the end of the season, so they entered, I believe, Wichita as the top seed, but were eventually defeated there. Now making a play for Division I here. Eva Derchi for Jet City has the first lead jam of the game for her team against Rip'n Rooster, who's still stuck in the pack right now for Rocky Mountain. Rip'n Rooster managed to get out of the front. However, plenty of time here for Eva Derchi to do something with it. Gets knocked into the infield, forced to call it, and she only picked up one single solitary point on that one. So new score 5 for Rocky Mountain, 1 for Jet City. About 2 minutes deep into this second semifinal of BESTERNS. Coming up next, Havoc in her first jam of the night for Rocky Mountain. She'll be opposed by Isla Smash You for Jet City. Isla Smash has stuck behind Jersey Whirl on the outside. Now Havoc is taken out of bounds by Just Daisy. Nearly cuts the track, but hops back in time, recognizing the danger there. Now going chest to chest with Just Daisy in the back. In turn 2, Isla Smash You is knocked out and then recycled by Assault and Peppa. Both jammers still fighting. Havoc finds an inside line. Lead jammer, Havoc. Isla Smash You is out as well, but Havoc's got about a half-track lead and using that speed to build on it. Goes to the inside, is going to call it off. I don't know how she got through that one. Went into a very tight pack and suddenly appeared on the other side. 4-0 Havoc, 9-1 Rocky Mountain leads after 3 jams in about 3 minutes. Once again, coming into this game, Rocky ranked number 46 and Jet City ranked number 58. Something I misspoke earlier. Jet City aiming for Division II playoffs right now. The cutoff right now is 52. So any team that finishes below 52 in the WPA rankings at the end of June, out of the playoffs. Both teams here trying to either fight their way in or stake their claim. Jet City now has lead jammer. It's Sopa. King Ninja has lead over Devastator for Rocky Mountain. Devastator barely stays in bounds. I'm sorry, that was a pivot. Kiki Diki has retrieved the star. I was saying she barely stayed in bounds, but I was wrong. She cut the track, and now Kiki Diki in the box as pivot turn jammer for Rocky Mountain. As Jet City picks up 3 points on that one, calls it off. I'm not sure if they recognized that they were in a power jam advantage. By the way, it's 9-4 now. They will have a power start here with Kiki Diki still sitting. The power jam advantage goes to Ivana Hertia. Say about 15, 20 seconds, maybe a bit more left on Kiki's penalty. But Jet City now has an opportunity to take the lead. They trail by 5 and have a power start. Assault and Pep at the top of the pack. As now Ivana Hertia has to start over. She's knocked outside of turn 2. Assault and Peppa once again stuck or keeping the front of the pack with Jersey Whirl. Off to the box as a blocker for Rocky Mountain is Fiona Grapple. And now lead jammer Ivana Hertia, just as Kiki Diki is freed from the box. So here's an opportunity for Jet City. Kiki still on initial pass as Ivana Hertia shrugs off a hit from Assault and Peppa. Now one-on-one with Jersey Whirl. Jersey Whirl takes her to the inside, backs her up. Kiki Diki trying to find a way around the Mexorcist. And Bombshell at the top. Mexorcist knocks her right to the edge, but she stays in. Ivana Hertia will call the jam off with 5, and I believe that is going to be a tie game. Yes, it is 9-9, all knotted up with just about 24 and a half left in the first half. Still very early in the going here. Rocky Mountain in a tough situation right now. They've got 2 in the box. It's May Cupé and Fiona Grapple, leaving only Hertz and Assault and Peppa out there to defend against Eva Derche. Mars Curiosity on the wrong side of this one, and a very, very quick lead jam for Eva Derche right there. He got a cut on the Rocky Jammer. That is Mars Curiosity power jam Eva Derche. However, Eva Derche knocked out and recycled by Assault and Peppa and Fiona Grapple. They'll be the 2 in the back as Eva Derche attacks, tries to go up the center, and now is going to pick the outside line. Once again finds Assault and Peppa at the top of the pack. She's through, and that's going to be the first 5 points and a lead change. First time Jet City's held the lead in this game. 14-9, jam still on. Mars Curiosity stands in the box and is released, just as Eva Derche threatens for her second scoring pass. All alone to the front here. Fiona Grapple and Hertz end up sandwiching Eva Derche. Now Assault and Peppa are going to battle it out. The pack nearly splits up, and now Eva Derche calls it, possibly a bit early there. Mars Curiosity, I believe, still on initial pass right there. Either way, it is a Jet City lead. 19-9, the team from Everett, Washington, in the lead for the first time. Next up, Isla Smashia. Her opposing number is a Rippin' Rooster for Rocky Mountain. Rocky Mountain setting up a cube of 4 in the front, and Jet City sitting on in the back. Bombshell anchoring as pivot that cube of 4. Both jammers not getting any help here as all 4. And as soon as I say that, Bombshell breaks off and plays timely offense to spring her jammer as Isla Smashia with lead. Bombshell does go to the box, and she's followed by blocker number 3 for Jet City. That is Chicklets Rock. So now Jet City at a 4-2 pack disadvantage. They do have lead jammer Isla Smashia trying to make something out of it. And did she call it in time? She did not. 3 points for Rippin' Rooster. And that's 2 for Jet City. So Rocky Mountain wins that jam without lead jammer on the back of the 4-2 pack right there. 21 for Jet City, 12 for Rocky Mountain, 21 minutes and about 40 seconds left when this next jam begins, in the first half, I should say. We got a lead jammers Havoc for Rocky Mountain. Stuck in the pack is Sofa King Ninja, trying to fight her way around Fiona Grapple in the front. Here comes Havoc for her first points. Takes the inside line, unseen. Grand slam, Havoc. 21-17, Havoc looking for a lead change right here, or a tie, as Sofa King Ninja is out. Havoc goes right in the center, and once again pops out the other side, 4 points. And that is going to make it a 21-21 tie with 21 minutes left in the first half. second tie of the game. We saw one at 9-9 just 3 jams ago. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is a 2017 BESTERNS, a semifinal game between the hosting team Rocky Mountain and the visiting team Jet City from Everett, Washington. My name's Justice Feelgood Marshall, and we are currently in Jam 9 with Ivana Hertia for Jet City up against Harper Bazaar for Rocky Mountain. Oh, Rocky Mountain is going to lose their jammer on a track cut. That's Harper Bazaar hits the box. Ivana Hertia is still stuck in the pack looking for her way through. No lead jammer yet. Salt and Pepper takes out Ivana Hertia on the outside of turn 3. Now Kiki Diki as Pivot takes over the front. Rocky Mountain waiting for Ivana Hertia to come and try it. Now a tripod in the front anchored by a Salt and Pepper. Kiki Diki. And I think that other blocker out there is Martinez for Rocky Mountain. Now Jersey World comes in to help. Still no lead jammer as Harper Bazaar stands. Jet City has 2 on the track right now, the Mexorcist and Just Daisy. Still no freedom for Ivana Hertia, and out of the box, Rocky Mountain has killed the entire penalty, and Harper Bazaar is out first, is gonna hop her way past Just Daisy. Finally, lead jammer status goes to Ivana Hertia, but before she can call it off, it's a full 5 for Rocky Mountain. That's a lead change. Rocky Mountain back in front, 26-21, 19 and change left in the first half, and a pretty tight game right here. Got an official timeout on the floor. .19:10 on a stop clock during this OTO. Gives us a chance to look at what's happening tomorrow. All of the games are set except for the championship one. In the 10th place game, well, actually, let's jump back a second. The seeding for this tournament thrown off dramatically by Friday's action, in which 6 of the 7 low seeds won. So crazy upsets on Friday. So what this left us here for Sunday's action. The 10th place game is the 6th seed Kansas City versus 7th seed Sacred City. The 8th place game between the 8th place seed Treasure Valley and the top seed Tucson, of course, was knocked out by Jet City on Friday, as we mentioned earlier. 7th place already decided, that is No Coast. They were the 3rd seed due to the odd number of teams in the tournament. No 7th place game is automatically the loser of one of the earlier consolation bounds. For the 5th place game, the 4th seed Wasatch will be taking on the 8th seed Boulder County. The 3rd place game will feature Sac City taking on the loser of this game. And the 1st place game, 2 seed Arizona up against either Rocky Mountain, the 5 seed, or Jet City, the 9 seed, which we're going to find out right about now. Rocky Mountain has 3 on blockers on the track. Now 3-3 as Champaign exits the box for Jet City. The jammers Eva Derchi for Jet City and Mars Curiosity for Rocky Mountain. Eva Derchi looks for the inside line, finds it. Lead jammer Jet City. They trail by 5. Chance to tie it up here. Mars Curiosity still stuck in the pack. Beethoven's Fist is the last one to beat, and she's doing a good job holding back. And no, it's going to be a back block on Mars Curiosity. Power jam Jet City. Eva Derchi 1 pass away from making it a tie game again. Champaign re-enters the box as Jet City blocker. Rocky Mountain doing a good job killing this penalty so far. And Salt and Pepper unable to cut off Eva Derchi as she takes turn 3. That's 5 points. And yep, it's a tie game again, 26-26. When that's about to change here, looks like. Looks like the Jet City bench really wants Eva Derchi to call it to trap Curiosity in the box. She got it just in time. Mars Curiosity signals to her bench she has 3 seconds remaining on her penalty. Jet City has taken a 4-point lead, 30-26, showing on the period clock, just under 18 minutes left in the first half. Ivana Hertia will have the extremely short power jam. Rocky Mountain sets up at the pivot line, and now Mars Curiosity sprung from the box just as Ivana Hertia starts her attempt to get through this cube of Rocky blockers. Every blocker here in about 1 foot worth of space here. You got a whistle, and it's going to be another penalty on Mars Curiosity. High block is going to put her in the box. And now it's Ivana Hercia gets a full-length power jam. Or for the sake of accuracy, a full 30 seconds of unopposed time. Lead jammer is given to Ivana Hercia. Chicklets Rock has just hit the box for Jet City. Curiosity stands just as Ivana Hercia enters for her first scoring pass. Makes it through fairly quickly, and again, smart work here by Jet City. They're going to freeze Mars Curiosity for a third jam now. So good penalty management there from the Jet City bench. They now lead 35-26. That 9-point lead is in fact their largest of the game. Wait, I'm totally wrong. Largest lead of the game is 10 at 19-9 earlier. They will get a chance here though for Isla Smashia to get them past that level. Mars Curiosity exits the box and gets through. Lead jammer out of the box, Mars Curiosity. So the gamble for Jet City does not pay off. And Isla Smashia is still trapped in the pack as Mars Curiosity is going to get a chance to get her team closer. Knocked outside, taken out by the team of Martinez and Assault and Peppa is Isla Smashia. Mars Curiosity through for a grand slam. 35-31 new score. Jam still on. Chicklets Rock has the jam star for Jet City as Mars Curiosity trying to get 4. She gets knocked to the inside. Let's see the points. It's 4. It's another tie game. A real tight one here in the final game of Saturday action here at BESTERNS. The third tie. We saw it tied at 9-9, then again at 21-21. For the third time, 35-35 with half of this first half left to play. All new game right now as Sofa King Ninja for Jet City heads up against Ripon Rooster for Rocky Mountain. Ninja one to beat on the outside and stays in bounds around the hit from Hertz. Make You Pay comes up and tries to give her another one, but she escapes. Lead jammer Jet City. Ripon Rooster still trying to get her way out of turn 1. Stashes the star. Ninja back in the pack and is going to push Rocky Mountain's blockers out of blocking position. Grand slam Jet City. They take the lead again. Ninja wants her pack to speed up. We have one in the box. Ninja knocked to the outside smoothly by Kiki Diki. No more points for Jet City on that pass. But they do open up a 5-point lead in one of the closest games we've had so far this weekend. 40-35 the score. The underdog, the 9 seed in the tournament, Jet City, currently leads the 5 seed Rocky Mountain. 14 minutes left to play in this first half. We've got Havoc versus Eva Derche. Eva Derche is through for lead jammer. Havoc looking for an inside line, gets knocked forward actually by Sia Wouldn't-Wanna-Be-Ya, which actually helped her through the pack there. Now Eva Derche has only a few seconds here. Rocky Mountain smartly tries to speed up the pack, keep the front. Sia tries to break up that cube. Eva Derche finds nothing. Rocky Mountain's Havoc. No way, got 1 for Jet City, 0 for Havoc. A bang-bang play right there. Kiki Diki ends it in the box. I think that what happened there, Diki seemed to be the person who hit the Jet City jammer, ended in the box. She may have passed her and the penalty was called. Either way, Jet City gets 1 point, goes up 41-35. 13 minutes left to play in the first half here. And our new jammer matchup is Ivana Hercia for Jet City and Devastator for Rocky Mountain. Lead jammer goes to Jet City's Ivana Hercia. Devastator stuck behind Champagne in the back, but finds a way around the outside. Now she's out. Ivana Hercia has plenty of time here to work. Once again, Rocky Mountain trying to keep that front. Speeding up going into turn 3. Ivana Hercia tries to take the inside line. Effective move there by Rock and Rolla Chola to open up that line as they came through the turn. And that's 4 points for Jet City. A 10-point lead is 45-35, and we've got a timeout called by Rocky Mountain. Looking at a 10-point deficit right now with 12:20 left on a stopped clock. Again, my name is Justice Feelgood Marshall. You're watching coverage of the 2017 BESTERNS, hosted by the Rocky Mountain Roller Girls at Foothills Fieldhouse here in lovely Denver, Colorado. The team in the white, Jet City, came in here as the 9th seed, upset 8th seed Boulder and 1 seed Tucson, looking to make it 3 upsets in a row and head to the championship game versus the 2 seed Arizona. Rocky Mountain got here only had to play 1 game yesterday, where they also got upset win over Wasatch. That a much closer rankings though. Wasatch the 4 seed, Rocky the 5 seed, and they were also ranked back to back at the end of the WFPDA May rankings season at 45 and 46. Jet City, meanwhile, ranked number 58 and trying to pick up those ranking spots necessary to qualify for Division II playoffs. The cutoff there again, number 52 enters Division II, and number 53 sits at home and watches. Isla Smashia jamming for Jet City against Ripon Rooster for Rocky Mountain. Both jammers facing a 4 cube right now. Ripon Rooster in the front, but not by much. Now Make You Pay gets up there and tries to mess up that Jet City defense. And in response, Sia Wanna drops back and tries to break up the Rocky Cube. Neither blocker too effective in springing their jammer. We're 30 seconds into this jam. The jammers have not been able to get out of turn 2. Now Isla Smashia has an advantage here, trying to push her way past Hertz, and Make You Pay does so. Lead jammer, Jet City. Off to the box is Hertz as Rocky Mountain blocker. Also going to be joined by a Jet City blocker. Looks like that is number 6, Razor Wrecker. And now it's going to be a power jam for Jet City, I should say, as Ripon Rooster sent to the penalty box on a track cut. Isla Smashia dealing with defense from Fiona Grapple in the back of the pack. Make You Pay trying to draw the cut, couldn't quite knock Isla Smashia out of bounds. Once again, Jet City playing the penalty game as they call off the jam, freezing Ripon Rooster in the box as jammer. She's still sitting. And Jet City picked up 5 on that one, a new score of 50-35, a 15-point lead for Jet City. And that is, in fact, their largest lead of the game so far. Rocky Mountain has been stuck at 35 for about the last 5 minutes here. 5 straight jams of 0 points for Rocky Mountain. Lead jammer quickly given to Sofa King, a ninja, who's through just as Jet City starts filling their box again. 3 3-pack right now. Or I apologize. We dealt the jammer standing Rooster in the box. She now escapes, and now we have a 3-3-pack as Hertz hits the box as a Rocky Mountain blocker, joining the Mexorcist at Jet City blocker. 5 points so far for Ninja. Ripon Rooster is through after the Star Stash, but Ninja, plenty of time here to finish this one off, being told to call it before going for Peppa's point, and will take 3 on that pass. Doing so will give Jet City a 58-35 lead with 9.5 minutes left on a ticking clock, and a 4-3 advantage to start this next jam as Hertz stands in the box as a Rocky blocker. Back to the line for Rocky Mountain, Havoc, and her opposing number, Eva Derchi, for Jet City Bombers. Teams matching up at near the pivot line. Havoc finds the outside lead jammer, Rocky Mountain. Eva Derchi trying to get past Hertz, gets knocked to the outside of the second straightaway. Just as Havoc enters for her first points, Havoc having a good game, busts through the pack again, and laps Eva Derchi on the way. Grand Slam Havoc 18-point lead right now for Jet City, 58-40. Eva Dershi still unable to get through the pack. Martinez here at the top here. Eventually, Rocky Mountain has to let Eva Dershi go on space. Have it trying to finish off the second scoring pass. Finds an outside line, stays in bounds. Thinking about calling it, looks back, and I think waited a little bit too long there. So Jet City will pick up 2 on the very end of that one. But Rocky Mountain cutting 7 points off of the deficit. 60 Jet City, 44 Rocky Mountain, 18 and change left on the clock. Harper Bazaar takes the jam star for Rocky Mountain. She's opposed by Ivana Hercha for Jet City. Razor Wrecker hits the deck as Jet City blocker trying to hold back Rocky Mountain's, Harper Bazaar. Harper Bazaar now stuck on the back of Razor Wrecker, and that creates enough time for Ivana Hercha to take lead jammer for Jet City. Number 9 seed still looking strong here in the Final Four. Coming to the box as Jet City's blocker is Beethoven's Fist. Harper Bazaar almost gets out on a no pack, but has to run back anyway. This time she's finally through on the outside of turn 3. Ivana Hercha still working on her first scoring pass here. All sorts of blockers coming to the penalty box. Just Daisy and Kiki Diki both enter the penalty box. 3-2 pack favors Rocky Mountain right now, but lead jammer status favors Ivana Hercha, who is now looking to get a lap point on Harper Bazaar. But Harper is through, getting some points for Rocky Mountain. That's 4. On the small board, it's 5-4 right now. Here's another 4 for Jet City. This time, Ivana Hercha will call off the jam, and that brings us to a 9-4 total on the small board. 69-48 favoring Jet City on the big board with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left on a ticking clock right now. 21 points the lead for the underdog Jet City Bombers from Everett, Washington. Back in action, Mars Furiosity for Rocky Mountain, Isla Smashia for Jet City. Mars Furiosity tries to go to the outside, denied by Beethoven's Fist. Now one to beat for Mars Furiosity. Does so, lead jammer, Rocky Mountain. Isla Smash is stuck in the back between Make You Pay, Fiona Grapple, and Assault and Peppa. Kiki Diki also out there playing deep for Rocky. Mars Furiosity takes a barely defended inside line. Brushes off 2 hits. Grand slam, Rocky Mountain. Isla Smashes, stashes the star. Goes to the outside, denied by Fiona Grapple with the run back. Now Mars Furiosity enters the pack for a second scoring pass. Cuts through the middle of turn 2. One to beat is Razor Wrecker, is going to push her out of play. Another grand slam, Rocky Mountain. Now we've got an 11-point game, 69-58. Mars Furiosity still coming with a minute 10 left in the jam. No luck for Isla Smashia as Jet City's jammer in this frame. Mars Furiosity going a little slower on her third scoring pass now. The star has been passed to the Jet City pivot. That is Razor Wrecker. Now she has to deal with Fiona Grapple, Make You Pay, and Assault and Peppa. A very, very, very veteran pack right there. And playing this game for quite a while and are showing exactly what they've learned right now in a very tight defense here on Razor Wrecker. Alice Mashia now trying to help out her pivot turn to jammer. Unsuccessful. Mars Furiosity entering. 24 seconds remain in this jam. Mars Furiosity says the heck with this, calls it off. So, Jet City, I don't believe, ever got their star out of the initial pass. Rocky Mountain picks up 15 points, and we have got a 6-point game. 69 Jet City, 63 Rocky Mountain. Jet City calls their first time out with 4 minutes and 26 seconds left on a stopped clock in the first half. Jet City has led this game since the 17.5-minute mark. Early in the game, we saw 3 ties, one at 9, one at 21, and one at 35. Rocky Mountain has not held the lead since about the 25-minute mark. The 22-minute mark. This timeout is going to come to an end as the teams retake the track. Jet City is setting up at the pivot line. And now Rocky Mountain's going to add to the stoppage with an official review. We'll have to wait and see what the question is there. Assuming no change in the penalty box, it'll be Sofa King Ninja jamming for Jet City, who appears eager to get into action. The captains for Rocky Mountain and Jet City appear to be Fiona Grapple and Beethoven Spisk, respectively, as they're out there talking things over with the Rocky bench coach and Jet City bench coach and our head referee, Rockety Roller, out there. Tomorrow's action starts at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. That is 1 hour offset from the previous 2 days. So if you're looking to catch some of the action, make sure you make a note of that. First game tomorrow, the 10th place game between Kansas City and Sacred City. The 8th place game between Tucson and Treasure Valley. We already have a 7th place team that is No Coast, who placed today after their loss to Boulder County. In the 5th place game, Wasatch and Boulder County will fight it out. The 3rd place game will find Sac City, the shocking story of this tournament. They came in as the lowest ranked team at 63 and the low seed at 11, but managed to get all the way to the 3rd place game, finally getting knocked out of the advancement bracket by Arizona in the previous game. And, of course, the grand finale of BESTERNS will find Arizona facing off against one of the two teams playing right now, Jet City or Rocky Mountain. Jet City, one of the younger teams here at BESTERNS in terms of how long the league has been around. They founded in 2006, but did not enter the WFTDA until 2009. Rocky Mountain, on the other hand, one of the originators of the WFTDA. They were founded in 2004 and entered in 2004. Still kicking 13 years later, Rocky Mountain Roller Girls, a 5-2-8-0 Fight Club. Again, they're currently ranked number 46 in the nation. So they're basically right in the center of the Div 2 battle right now. Remember, WFTDA changing the playoff structure this year. Instead of teams ranked 1 through 40 going on the playoffs, is teams 1 through 36 going to Division 1 playoffs. Division 2 changing from 41 to 60. The new cutoffs are 37 to 52. So Rocky Mountain on track right now to hit Division 2 playoffs. Jet City came into this game ranked number 58. So if they have a strong showing here and in the rest of their weekend, they could potentially get up to 53 or 52 and enter Division 2 playoffs themselves. We are back in action. Looks like Rocky Mountain did not win their review as the dot has disappeared off the scoreboard. It's Sofa King Ninja going right to the penalty box right there. Power jam for Rocky Mountain. Did not see the call on Ninja right there, but it does leave Ripon Rooster alone with an opportunity to put Rocky Mountain back in the lead for the first time since the opening minutes of this game. Ripon Rooster is through, loses her balance, and gets called lead jammer, but has to return to avoid the track cut. Looks like the official review was requesting an expulsion on Jet City's number 6. That would have been Razor Wrecker for an egregious out-of-bounds block, but the no call stood, and Razor Wrecker lives to block another day. Ripon Rooster still unable to break through initial pass, holding lead jammer status. The jammer penalty has ended for Ninja, and Rooster here will probably have to call it Oh, terrible news for Rocky Mountain. They lose lead jammer status as Ripon Rooster goes to the penalty box, and what looked like it could have become a lead-changing jam ends up being a power jam, and now super confusion here in the penalty box. Ripon Rooster sits in the wrong seat just as Ninja goes back to the penalty box on a track cut. All sorts of penalty chaos here. Ripon Rooster returns with 40 seconds left in the jam. If I'm not mistaken here, both jammers still on initial pass here. Ninja exits the penalty box. Ripon Rooster gets knocked to the very edge of the track, stays in bounds, and is now coming for first points with only 24 seconds left in the jam. Ninja is out as well. Ripon Rooster, nice turnaround move to pick up some points, and Ripon Rooster has gone back to the penalty box. So 2 penalties for Ripon Rooster, 2 penalties for Sofa King Ninja, who now controls the jam as time expires. Picks up, I'll have to wait and see. Her jam referee showing 3 on the final pass. So that's 8 for Rocky Mountain total, 3 for Rocky Mountain. I'm sorry, update there. 9 for Jet City. 78-66 is the score. When this next jam begins, we will have exactly 1 minute and 59 seconds showing on the period clock. So if this goes full length, we'll expect half to end on this one. Ivana Hercha trying to get around Martinez, does so. Lead jammer, Jet City, just as Ripon Rooster stands in the penalty box. 12-point lead for Jet City. Ivana Hercha looking to add to that right now. Kiki Diki puts Ivana Hercha on the outside of turn 1, and she has to go all the way back, getting in behind Assault and Peppa. Ripon Rooster holding the star in her hand, sucked to the back. Looks like Kiki Diki was trying to give her an inside line, but she chose to go on the outside of Champagne. Kiki Diki has picked up the star and is now the jammer for Rocky Mountain. Ivana Hercha, though, has some time to work here. Knocks to the floor, calls it off. Picks up 4 more points for Jet City. Got an 82-66 lead for Jet City. We'll have some time for a little bit more roller derby in this half. We got just under a minute left on a ticking clock. Looks like this next jam will start with about 40 seconds left in the half. Empty penalty boxes on both sides. The Rocky Mountain is going to try and take the back, but Jet City crowding them very strongly here. Havoc jams for Rocky Mountain. Eva Derchi out there for Jet City. Havoc trying to get around Beethoven Spitz. Goes around the outside using that speed. Lead jammer Havoc. Eva Derchi is out, but she's got about a half track to make up on Havoc. Now Rocky Mountain going on strong offense here. Beautiful clearing block by Violet A. Salt. Havoc gets through, calls it 4-0 by taking the inside of turn 4. So Rocky Mountain multiple times has shown extremely good high-speed offense, making that hit right as they enter the turn. Time is going to expire in between jams. Neither team any desire to extend to that half. And we're going into the intermission in one of the tightest games of the weekend so far. Jet City, the underdog from Everett, Washington, leads the hosting league Rocky Mountain by 12, 82-70. My name is Justice Spielgren Marshall. You're watching coverage of the 2017 BESTERNS in Denver, Colorado. We'll be back in about 14 minutes. Hello there, my name is Justice Feelgood Marshall, and we're about to get back into action in the final game of Saturday action at 2017 BESTERNS here in Denver, Colorado. This is the second semifinal game. Host league Rocky Mountain, the 5 seed, is right now trailing the number 9 seed Jet City out of Everett, Washington. The score 82 Jet City, 70 Rocky Mountain. One of the tightest games of the weekend we've seen so far. First half saw 3 ties. With 15 minutes left in the first half, it was all knotted up at 35. Jet City has led since then. Their lead got as large as 69 to 48, but right now sitting at 12 points. When we get back into action here, it looks like it's going to be Ivana Hertia wearing the star for Jet City in the white and blue, and Havoc wearing the star for Rocky Mountain in the black and red. Ivana Hertia gets a small advantage on space, but Havoc, once again, using that speed on the outside line, puts on the Jets, takes lead jammer, and has a chance to cut into this 12-point lead of Jet City. Havoc goes once again up the middle. This time gets caught up, though, calls it off, and she got all 4, though. So that makes it a single-digit game right now, 82 to 74. Rocky Mountain trying to get back in the lead for the first time since the first 10 minutes of the game. Back in action here, Eva Derchi for Jet City and Rippin' Rooster for the Fight Club Rocky Mountain. Eva Derchi gets knocked to the outside of bounds, assaults, but not quite out of bounds. This time, it's Assault and Peppa is putting her out of bounds. But with Peppa going out of bounds herself, we got a no pass, no penalty situation, and we have Eva Derchi out, but not lead jammer. Rippin' Rooster has an opportunity here to take lead, but she is passed, and that's almost a grand slam. It is a jammer lap point, but Eva Derchi forced to come back behind Assault and Peppa. Hitting the box as Jet City blocker, Beethoven's Fist, the captain. And now, Rippin' Rooster is out, but she removed the star, so no lead jammer in this one. Razor Wrecker also sits in the incorrect penalty box, as we saw earlier. So 2 in the box for Jet City. That's going to give Rippin' Rooster some space here. She's working on Rock and Roll Chola and the Mexorcist. And now only 1 blocker on the track now for Jet City. And now Jet City's blocker sits in the wrong seat again, so total confusion on where to go. It's only the Mexorcist all alone. 1-on-1, Rippin' Rooster. Can't quite hold her back. Rippin' Rooster using that footwork to stay in bounds. And we have got ourselves a tie game, 82-82. Penalty box is full for both teams, 2-on-2 on the track. Eva Derchi picks up 5 of her own, 87-82 Jet City. Rippin' Rooster trying to make a tie game again, but Eva Derchi comes up and gets through 5 more, so a very short-lived tie game right there. We have 20 seconds left in what's going to be a full-length jam, and May Q Pei comes out of the box as Rocky Mountain blocker as Rippin' Rooster finishes another scoring pass, 12-9 on the small board. Rocky winning the jam, but unable to close the gap all the way. Perhaps they will do so here. 5 seconds remain here for Rippin' Rooster. Both jammers hit the outside. Rippin' Rooster is, I believe, on her way to the penalty box. I saw her exiting the track. And let's see where she stops. Penalty box or bench? Penalty box. Power jam, Jet City. 95 for Jet City, 86 for Rocky Mountain. 26 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the half, or in the game, I should say, when this next jam begins. That jam ended up going 13-13 full length. And it's Champagne in her first jam of the game for Jet City. There is no one on the inside line there, but Champagne oddly cuts to the outside. Works out. Lead jammer, Champagne. Champagne is doing great here as there's a completely overfull now penalty box for Rocky Mountain. Champagne with huge tracts of land right there to just swoop through. And she's going to come again. She's got 10 so far. Shrugs off a hit there. Kiki Diki is going to run out of space trying to stop her. And Champagne in her first jam of the game having a big one. 14-0 so far, still coming. During the last jam, it was momentarily a tie game, but suddenly Jet City appears to be back in control. Champagne cannot be stopped. Bangs her way through for another pass. Oh, but it looks like she got no points on that one as she was being sent to the box. So it took her a while to get or to recognize that she was being sent there. It was a back block. So we're unclear on whether she scored points before being sent to the box. Either way, Power Jam, Rocky Mountain, Rip and Rooster trying to spring herself. She's got 40 seconds left in. It's going to be another full-length jam. Sia wouldn't want to be goes to the box as Jet City blocker. 5 points for Rip and Rooster so far. 28 seconds left in the jam. Champagne stands in the box as Jet City jammer. Just as Rip and Rooster goes to the outside and picks up another 5 points. Talk about a back and forth half right now. It seems like every 20 seconds the momentum shifting dramatically. Rip and Rooster coming around again. Champagne this time stuck on the outside of turn 2. Rip and Rooster trying to get around Beethoven's fist and is knocked to the outside of the second straightaway. Champagne finally gets through. Fiona Grapple had a lock on her but has to give it up as the jam ends. Jet City's Champagne takes her team to an 18-13 win, but it's only a 13-point advantage for Jet City. At the halftime, it was 12 points, so only 1 point changing in the first 5 minutes of the second half here. Alice Smasha for Rocky Mountain. Lead jammer, she hops up the inside. Rocky Mountain unable to close the door of turn 1. Mars Curiosity had a penalty-heavy first half. Gets through cleanly this time. Alice Smasha enters pack and has to call it. Let's see if it was in time. 0 for Jet City, 2 for Mars Curiosity. So Rocky Mountain able to win that jam without lead jammer status and once again make it a single-digit deficit. 113 for Jet City, 102 for Rocky Mountain. The Rocky Mountain faithful over in turn 3 cheering on their team. It's going to be in this next frame, number 30 for Jet City, Sofa King Ninja up against Devastator for Rocky Mountain. We got a forearm being called on somebody. Off to the box here, we've got Hertz for Rocky Mountain. Lead jammer, Jet City's Sofa King Ninja. Devastator trying to get around Bombshell in the front. Bombshell tries to cut her off, does so. What a beautiful block by Bombshell at the very edge of turn 3, answered by a huge hit from Make You Pay on the other side, taken out. Sofa King Ninja bringing both jammers all the way back. Strong individual defense from both teams on that play. Now Beethoven's fist holding down the tripod in the front for Jet City, helped out by Sia. Wouldn't want to be a Sia. Another takeout hit. Drops Devastator. Sofa King Ninja ends that jam with a 5-0. Fantastic action in that last frame. New score 118, Jet City 102. Rocky Mountain got about 22 minutes left in this game. Rocky Mountain trying to reach the final of their own tournament here and face Arizona. Jet City trying to get their 3rd upset win in a row and reach that same final game against number 2 seed Arizona. Jam is on with Ivana Hercha for Jet City up against Mars Curiosity again for Rocky Mountain. Mars Curiosity 1 to beat is Just Daisy. She does so. Lead jammer Mars Curiosity having a strong second half after some troubles with penalties in the first. Coming around for her points, Ivana Herchia about a third of the track behind. Curiosity gets hit by Just Daisy, forced to call it. Just Daisy goes to the box on a clockwise block, and it looks like Rocky Mountain's going to pick up 3 on that one. 118-105 the new score. Just under 21 minutes left to play, and what's quickly developing into the best game so far of the weekend. Looks like we've got a Rippin' Rooster back on the line for Rocky Mountain wearing the star. She's opposed by Eva Derchi for Jet City, who tries to tightrope up the outside, but denied by Martinez. Forearm's going to be sending Champagne to the box as a blocker for Jet City, where she joins Just Daisy, making it a 4-2 pack in favor of Rocky Mountain. But Eva Derchi manages to break through, even with the blocker disadvantage. Rippin' Rooster is through herself. She's about a fourth of the track behind. Eva Derchi comes up, tries to jump the apex, nailed to the inside by Hertz. And now Jet City has 3 in the box. It is only Sia Wadawanabia out there right now blocking. Now Just Daisy out there, and it looks like Jet City has chosen to go all defense. Eva Derchi helping out Just Daisy and Sia Wadawanabia as they wait for Rippin' Rooster to attack. Doesn't work out. Rippin' Rooster is through for another 5 as Eva Derchi is still stuck in the pack. Slowly the Jet City box begins to empty. Bombshell standing now. Finally, Eva Derchi is through, but Rocky Mountain is winning this jam. Currently 9-4. Eva Derchi able to clear the box before any more points are scored by Rocky Mountain. Goes to the 9-4 total. Yet again, Rocky Mountain has narrowed it to a single-digit deficit, but they have not been able to close it all the way. The current score, 122 Jet City, 114 Rocky Mountain. Timeout Jet City, that's their second, and we've got 19:42 left on a stopped clock here in the final game of Saturday action at 2017 BESTERNS. My name is Justice Feelgood Marshall. Hope you're enjoying the action. Tune in tomorrow for the placement games. We have our 7th place team already determined. That's No Coast, but all the rest of the games will be determining finishers for 11 through number 1. Number 1 going to be either Arizona, Rocky Mountain, or Jet City. Timeout has come to an end. The teams retake the track, and we have a new timeout. The officials now want to get in on this timeout action. When we do get back into action, we got the Rockety Roller talking to Jet City's bench coaches Ry Rod and Chuck Hendrick. Okay, looks like Bombshell is entering the box for Jet City. She may have gotten that penalty in between jams. Either way, it's going to set up a 3-3 pack to start this next jam. 8-point lead for the underdog Jet City. Remember, Jet City coming in as a 9 seed, Rocky Mountain coming in as the 5 seed. Isla Smashia will try and open up the lead for Jet City again, and she's up against Havoc, the speedster for Rocky Mountain, finding a way around. Chicklets Rock stays in bounds. Lead jammer Havoc. Isla Smashia takes off the star, trying to get it to her pivot. Pivot is taken off the play. This Chicklets, and through with the star stash is Smashia, but Havoc shrugs off a hit. She's gonna take 4. Kasinkima keeping it running. The bench says, no, please end this jam. 4-0 for Rocky Mountain. That makes it a 4-point game. Rocky Mountain 1 pass away from finally closing the gap. They've been so close for the last half an hour almost to play here. And they did, in fact, tie up the game with 15 minutes left in the first half, but have not led since the first 20 minutes. Harper Bazaar for Rocky Mountain. Sofa King Ninja is lead jammer for Jet City just as the penalty box is empty. 4-on-4 in the pack right now. Ninja coming around for first points is going to find Fiona Grapple and Jersey Whirl in the back of the pack. Grapple decked as Ninja is now pushed out the front of the pack by Assault and Peppa. Stays in bounds. So I apologize, she did not go to bounds. 5 points for Ninja. Hitting the box as Jet City blocker Champagne, who may be in some penalty trouble at this point. 127 total for Jet City, 118 total for Rocky Mountain. Still no escape from the pack for Rocky Mountain Star, which is now in the hands of Fiona Grapple. Fiona Grapple nailed by Just Daisy, sent to the outside of turn 1, brings her all the way back. Ninja trying to get her around, jammer turned to blocker Harper Bazaar. Harper taking her to the outside of the middle of turns 1 and 2. And Ninja much more slow going into this pass after putting up a quick 5 early. However, neither jammer finding much daylight this time. We got 45 seconds left in the jam. Here comes Champagne playing some offense for Ninja in the middle of the second straightaway. Finally, it's Fiona Grapple, star on head. Pivot toward the jammer is out, and Ninja is going to have to call it here, which she does. She picked up all 5 during that lengthy second pass, and once again, Jet City gets out of trouble after Rocky Mountain was knocking on the door. 132 Jet City, 118 for Rocky Mountain. That's 14 points of differential for Jet City right now. Need to hang on for 17 minutes to go to the championship game of BESTERNS. Mars Curiosity tries to keep a good half going for Rocky Mountain with a star. Ivana Hercha is her opposing number. Ivana Hercha stuck behind Kiki Diki and Violet A. Saltz. Lead jammer, Mars Curiosity. The Rocky Mountain turn 3, showing their appreciation for that move. Ivana Hercha is through. Now Mars Curiosity almost jumps in too early. Does jump in too early, cuts the track. Another trip to the box for Mars Curiosity. Power jam for Ivana Hercha. So Jet City once again able to escape danger. Ivana Hercha going to try and add a little bit to this Jet City lead. Joining Mars Curiosity in the box is May Kupei as blocker. And now it's the jammer for Jet City. Ivana Hercha has gone to the box herself. More penalty box chaos. Curiosity is released. Rock and Rolla Chola is the blocker for Jet City. Enters the track with her and picks her up in the back. Joins her tripod at the front. Mars Curiosity shrugs it off and is through for 5 as Ivana Hercha stands in the box. 40 seconds remain in this jam. May Kupei having an animated discussion with the NSO just before leaving the box herself. And May Kupei, much like Rock and Rolla Chola, is able to pick up the jammer as they both exit the box at the same time. And May Kupei right back to the box, where she can have a longer conversation with her new friend, the NSO. Mars Curiosity heading back behind Rock and Rolla Chola and the Mexorcist. Ivana Hercha trying to get around Violet A. Saltz and Kiki Diki at the front of the pack. 5 seconds left to play in the jam. Chicklets Rock pulls Curiosity back to the rear again. The jam ends just as Ivana Hercha finishes off a scoring pass. And the total there is going to end with 10 for Rocky Mountain and 5 for Jet City. That brings our score to 137 for Jet City, 128 for Rocky Mountain. Yet again, Rocky Mountain sitting within single digits, but they have been unable to actually reach Jet City. They'll try again with Ripon Rooster wearing the star against Eva Derchi for Jet City. May Kupei exits the penalty box as a blocker takes over the front, trying to help out a tripod there and joined it just in time as Eva Derchi had almost broken out of the pack. Eva Derchi has cut the track. Power jam for Rocky Mountain. 9 points away from a tie. Star still on the head of Ripon Rooster. We got a multiplayer block being called on Sia Wouldn't who heads to the box. Ripon Rooster trying to get around Bombshell. Just Daisy does so. Lead jammer, Rocky Mountain. Standing in the box, Eva Derchi, Ripon Rooster with an opportunity here to make it a one-pass game. Hits that Jet City tripod, runs into the back of Just Daisy, and now hits the deck. Here comes the Jet City's Eva Derchi star in hand. Rocky Mountain catches her entry. Ripon Rooster trying to break through a 3-person tripod here. It's Bombshell now and Just Daisy, the two in front of Rooster. Hitting the box as pivot for Rocky Mountain. Fiona Grapple now in serving penalty. Eva Derchi is out. Starr now back on head. That was her initial pass. Ripon Rooster needs to call it, does so. She picks up a total of 5 points, and it is, in fact, a one-pass game. 137 for Jet City, 133 for Rocky Mountain. 12 and change left in the game. Very likely to come down to the very end here. Rocky Mountain has 2 timeouts and official review left. Jet City holds 1 timeout and their OR. Jam begins with exactly 12 minutes and 4 seconds remaining on the clock here. Havoc for Rocky Mountain. Isla Smashia for Jet City. Beethoven's Fist trying to give a clean line, but cannot do so. Once again, lead jammer Havoc has been effective in almost every jam she's been out there. Here she comes trying to get around. Raise the record on the outside. Finds a way. Goes out of bounds. Calls it off. What you get there for? And Hendrick, the bench coach for Jet City, runs in immediately to call official review, and I presume here they're going to be looking for an official review on Havoc, who skated out of bounds. The question is going to be whether or not she was touched on her way out of bounds. As soon as she went out, Hendrick was pointing at it and ran out there holding that O. On the scoreboard, it is a tie game, 137-137, as Havoc got the 4 points needed to tie that game up, but she may end it in the box, depending on the result of Jet City's review. In that position here, I am basically right behind the penalty box. So when Havoc was knocked out, it was sort of in front of me on turn 1. And there, yeah, tough to tell whether or not Havoc was touched on her way out of bounds, but it seems pretty clear that that's what Hendrick wants right now, is talking over with a rockety roller on the infield. It's an all tied up at 137 with 11:37 left to play in this game.
All but one camera, so I don't have a scoreboard, so we only have that reference. Sorry.
So judging by the fact that Rocky Mountain has a jammer, it looks like the Jet City did not win that review. They can only stop the clock one more time in this game with their remaining timeout. Back in action, Sofa, King Ninja up against Devastator. It is a tie game with Devastator going to the box on a track cut. Power jam for Ninja. And two blockers in the box, I should say, for Jet City. So Ninja has a power jam advantage, but not a lot of help out here in the track. Here comes Beethoven Fist out of the box now, a 4-3 pack favoring Rocky Mountain. Still holding Ninja in the pack. That's a Salt and Pep at the front of the pack there. Getting some up from Hertz. Devastator now standing. Rocky Mountain has been able to kill almost all the penalty. Just as lead is given to Ninja, here comes Devastator sprung from the box. Sia Wunawunabia comes out of the box as Jet City blocker to help out Ninja's first scoring pass. Devastator stuck in the back behind pivot Beethoven's Fist. Oh, what a big hit right there from Fiona Grapple. Introduces Sofa King Ninja to the outside of turn 3. And now Rocky Mountain's able to wall up tightly with a cube. Devastator is out. And now Sofa King Ninja has to call it as she's being brought to the back by Fiona Grapple. Is only able to pick up 3 points on that one. So Jet City still, even though they lost the lead, did not give it to Rocky Mountain. Rocky Mountain has still not been able to take over the lead since very early in this game, and Jet City opens up a very, very small lead of 3 points, 140-137. Just under 10 minutes left to play on the period clock. I'm being informed that we've lost the scoreboard on a feed there, so I'll give you the score and the time as often as I can here. Champaign wears the star for Jet City, but lead jammer goes to Mars Curiosity. And now Rocky Mountain threatening for the lead. 2 in the box for Jet City. Here comes Mars Curiosity going to inside of turn 2. Knocked into the infield by Just Daisy. Has to start over. Champaign still stuck on her initial pass. 1 to beat for Mars Curiosity. Rocky Mountain finally back in the lead with that grand slam for Mars Curiosity. 142, 140, 9 minutes, 15 seconds remain in the game. Curiosity trying to add a little bit more to Rocky Mountain. Goes around the outside. Rocky Mountain's turn 3 goes nuts. Another 4 points for Rocky Mountain. And they lead 146 to 140 with 9 minutes on a ticking clock here in the second semifinal game of 2017 BESTERNS. The winner goes on to face Arizona in the final tomorrow. Now, Havoc is jamming once again for Jet City. Roxy rots a lot in the pack for Rocky Mountain. Appears to be her first jam of the game. And now, Ivana Hertja is through for Jet City. Havoc stuck on her initial pass here. Finds the inside line. Tight ropes up the middle of turns 1 and 2. However, Ivana Hertja in scoring position. The front of the pack being held down by Assault and Peppa. Now Jersey World helping her out, and it's going to force the call off from Ivana Hertja, who only takes 2 on that one. Making it a 4-point game, 146, 142, just under 8 left to play. One pass away for Jet City as they try and retake the lead from Rocky Mountain. Harper Bazaar jams for Rocky Mountain. Eva Derchi for Jet City. Eva Derchi stuck in the back. We got Harper Bazaar near the front trying to push through, but gets brought back by Just Daisy, who's having a great game so far. Just Daisy almost pulls the track cut, begging the ref for it. The ref says nope, and that's a lead jam for Harper Bazaar. And Eva Derchi is through, but about half the track behind. Some time here for Bazaar to get through. 1 to beat is Sia. Wouldn't want to be as she does so. 4 points Rocky Mountain. 105 Rocky Mountain. 142 Jet City. Just under 7 minutes. We will have about 6:30 left when this next jam begins. Remember, Jet City only has 1 timeout remaining. No official review. They can only stop the clock once. The Rocky chants are permeating the building right now, and this jam is not going to go anywhere. An official timeout was called just before the jammers got into action. They were eager to play, but they can't because the referees won't let them. 8-point lead right now for Rocky Mountain. The clock is now stopped at 6 minutes and 22 seconds left in the game. Looks like we got 1 blocker in the box. That is the Mexorcist for Jet City.
The Mexorcist, number 13 for Jet City, is going to take over Beethoven's Chris and serve her in the box.
The referees appear that they are getting ready to bring this OTO to an end. Rockety Roller, the head ref, talking something over with both of the benches. Gives the signal, and this rolling whistle will end the OTO. There it is. Ryrod for Jet City comes out to talk to his team about how to handle the advance of Mars Curiosity. Don't have penalty counts here. Mars Curiosity has probably either hit the box 4 or 5 times as a jammer, so we're going to need to stay clean this one. her opposing number is Isla Smashia for Jet City. Mars Curiosity tries to stay up, but just Daisy nails her to the outside. She has to start all over Isla Smashia. Getting hit by May Q Pei. Tries to find an outside line. The Rocky Mountain Cube denies her. Now Mars Curiosity has a bit of an advantage. Isla Smashia gets lead, hits the ground, loses a wheel as she hits the ground. So crazy conclusion to that jam as Isla Smashia came down right on her tailbone. I'm not certain it's her wheel. It might have been somebody else's wheel, but there was a wheel that came flying off. It was Mars Curiosity, so double tough break right there, or perhaps a triple tough break for Jet City. They had the lead jammer, and they had the opposing jammer had a skate malfunction just as lead jammer was called for Isla Smashia, but she went down sort of out of control, landed on her rear, and I presume that did not feel great for the tailbone. So as the bench and the EMTs check her out, no score on the jam, 150 for Rocky Mountain, 142 for Jet City, still 8 points for the home team and the tournament host. And there are 5 minutes and 49 seconds left on a stop clock during this injury timeout. My name is Justice Feelgood and Marshall. Let me run through what we're going to see tomorrow for you as we wait for the EMTs to work over Isla Smashia. The 10th place game will see the 6th seed Kansas City up against 7th seed Sacred City. Good news, by the way, looks like Isla Smashia is up and skating off with a little help from her bench coach, Chuck Hendrick. Our 8th place game, the 1 seed Tucson having an unfortunate weekend. They lost both of their games so far, one to Wasatch and one to Jet City. So they'll be playing for 8th against 8th seed Treasure Valley tomorrow. 7th place already has gone to No Coast in the odd numbered tournament. 5th place game between Wasatch, the 4 seed Wasatch, and the 8 seed Boulder County. 3rd place game between the 11th seed Sac City, and the loser of this game and the championship game will be between the 2 seed Arizona and either Rocky Mountain or Jet City. We will know in about 5 minutes and 49 seconds plus timeouts. Rockety Roller once again has a chat with the refs. It looks like they're telling him that Isla Smashia is unavailable for the next 3 jams. Actually, I'm not certain about that. I think that she did call it off, so I take that back. I believe that she did call it off. But because of the injury timeout that the referees called after that, she will not be allowed to return for 3. So that's a recent change to the rule set because there were more than 30 seconds between jams there due to the injury. Isla Smashia unavailable for a critical last the home stretch, I should say, of this game. Now I've got a timeout called on the floor by Rocky Mountain. So the clock stoppage will continue. Once again, if you can't see a scoreboard, it's because I believe we lost some of our cameras. So I will be your scoreboard. 150 Rocky Mountain, 142 Jet City, 8-point lead for Rocky. The clock remains stopped at 5 minutes and 49 seconds remaining. Rocky Mountain retakes the track. They're going to hand the star to Havoc, who's had a very strong game so far. And so far, King Ninja, no slouch herself in this game. We've got empty penalty boxes at the moment. Both teams crowding the pivot line this time. Sia Wouldn't Want to Be and Rock and Roll Chola were at the back, but Fiona Grapple now falls back to become the pivot into trailing. Very quick jump off the line by Ninja. Unfortunately for her, it's Havoc once again taking that outside line with the speed to make it happen. Lead jammer for Rocky Mountain. Ninja gets around, but Havoc will have some time to work here as she meets the Jet City blockers in turn 2. Havoc around the outside, looks back, and she calls it, but again, looks like waited a little bit too long. Luckily for Havoc, only 1 point scored there, so a 4-1 jam. makes the new score 154 to 143, an 11-point lead for Rocky Mountain with just about 5 minutes left in this game. This jam begins with exactly 4 minutes and 55 seconds, and Champaign has been an effective blocker all game long for the second time. Where's the star in the second time as lead jammer for Jet City. Trailing her about a half track behind is Mars Curiosity. Champaign coming in hot. Knocks Martinez out of the way twice. Now one to beat is Assault and Peppa. She's through. That's 4. Is told to keep it going by Jet City's bench here. I think a smart move by Jet City here as Mars Curiosity has had some penalty trouble all game long. She is now stuck on her first scoring pass as Champaign comes around threatening for points. So the gamble for Jet City pays off here as Champaign still coming. Oh my God, just blows up Martinez. And in doing so goes to the box with the forearm call. Power jam for Mars Curiosity, who absolutely needs to stay clean on the remainder of this minute and 10 seconds left in the jam. The current score, 154 for Rocky Mountain, 147 for Jet City. They do have probably more points than that as Champaign was sent to the box after scoring points. 5 now for Mars Curiosity. Score updates to 159, 147. A 12-point lead right now for Rocky Mountain with 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the game. Just Daisy takes down Mars Curiosity, but is going to get hit with a penalty for it. Now Champagne's exiting the box as Jet City Jammer power jams over. Mars Curiosity stays in bounds. Assault and Peppa's in the penalty box for Rocky Mountain, pointing to Champagne. And a critical takeout hit by May Q Pei is going to bring Champagne to the back of the pack as Mars Curiosity comes around again. 15 seconds remain in the jam. Once again, May Q Pei all over Champagne. This time hits her out again. May Q Pei owning this jam. 8 seconds left in the jam. 4 more points for Rocky Mountain. A 14-4 jam so far. Under 3 minutes to play as the jam time expires. Have to wait for the score on the small board. It's 18-4, and Champagne going to the box on a low block at the very end. That could be huge trouble for Jet City, as Rocky Mountain will start this next jam with 30 seconds worth of power jam advantage. A score, 168 Rocky Mountain, 151 Jet City. A 17-point lead, 2 minutes and 29 seconds remain on the clock. Rocky Mountain, I'm sorry, the referees are calling an official timeout here. So the clock is now stopped at 2:30. And Jet City absolutely needs a big defensive stand right now. Looks like Champagne may have fouled out of that game because now Ivana Hercia is sitting in the box as jammer. So no more Champagne for Jet City. Havoc with a key jam right here. Lead jammer Havoc. Rocky Mountain in control. 168-151 with under 2.5 to play as Havoc comes around for her first points. Goes around to the outside, but loses her footing, has to come all the way behind. And now Chicklets Rock and Just Daisy make sure she has to go almost the whole half of the track back there. Just Daisy goes chest to chest, but nice clearing block from Assault and Peppa. Grand slam Havoc. Ivana Hercia exits the box as Jet City Jammer. 5 points so far on the jam for Rocky Mountain. New score 173-151. Rocky Mountain, a minute 50 left on the period clock, a minute 20 on the jam clock. May Q Pei has absolutely been on fire in these last few jams as she takes Ivana Hercia out and all the way to the back. Havoc takes to the sky to dodge a block. Another 5 points for Rocky Mountain. And it looks like Rocky Mountain, after trailing for most of this game, is going to be able to hang on near the end. We have a minute 25 left on the period clock, 55 seconds on the jam clock. Ivana Hercia loses her footing, getting around Hertz at the end here. She finishes her initial pass. Havoc is going to let this jam keep running. 10-0 so far for Rocky Mountain, but now Rocky just trying to drain some more time off the clock here, looks like. Fiona Grapple is the anchor of this tripod with Assault and Peppa and May Q Pei in the middle of the pack. One to beat. Makey Pay once again all over the track is now in front of Ivana Hercia. Can't stop her that time. 13 seconds remain on the jam clock, 40 seconds in the period clock. I'm gonna wait to update the score until the end of this jam. I'm not sure what we've got on the small board. A few more points go up as expected here as the jam ends. 14-7 is the win for Rocky Mountain. The new score 182 for Rocky Mountain, 158 for Jet City. And Jet City has to burn their final timeout here. And they got a long way to go in the short time remaining here. 20 seconds remain on this stopped clock, and they will have to pick up a 25 or 24 points to tie, 25 to go ahead. That's a high bar set here. The bench coaches Hendrick and Ryrod talking it over with Jet City. Jet City's putting out See You Wouldn't Want to Be the Mexorcist, and looks like, I believe, Rock and Roll Chola out there. It's blocked from my angle right now, so I can't be certain. The jammer will be Eva Derchi for Jet City. This timeout comes to an end. That is Rock and Roll Chola and also Bombshell out there as the fourth blocker. The pivot, I should say, for Jet City. Rocky Mountain puts out Salt and Peppa, Make You Pay, Fiona Grapple, and Hertz. And the jammer is Mars Furiosity. So Rocky Mountain showing some faith in their jammer right here. Rocky needs to hold Jet City to 23 points or fewer. And Mars Furiosity is going to make it a whole lot easier by taking lead jammer status. 10 seconds remain on the period clock. Rocky Mountain tells Mars Furiosity stop. Eva Derchi goes to the box. Power jam for Rocky Mountain. It's not going to matter as Mars Furiosity has no interest in playing any more roller derby. Calls it off. Rocky Mountain is going to the championship game of BESTERNS to face Arizona. They come back after trailing for the majority of this game against a very strong 9 seed in Jet City. Jet City looking a little disappointed by the end of that game, but they have nothing to be ashamed of in that one. Jet City taking Rocky Mountain to the very, very limit in there. Tomorrow's championship game is set. Number 5 seed Rocky Mountain will be battling number 2 seed Arizona at 5 p.m. for the championship of the tournament. Jet City will head to play Sac City in the Cinderella stories facing each other here. 9 seed Jet City and 11 seed Sac City in the 3rd place game. 5th place between Wasatch and Boulder County. 8th place between Tucson and Treasure Valley. 10th place between Kansas City and Sacred City. That game starting at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Rocky Mountain takes their victory lap, and that's a final score. 182 Rocky Mountain, 158 Jet City. And that is, in fact, the end of our Saturday action at BESTERNS. I have been Justice Feelgood Marshall. Tomorrow, I will continue to be Justice Feelgood Marshall, and I'll be with you to call the 9 a.m. opener between 6 seed KCRW and 7 seed Sacred City Sacrificers. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage here of the 2017 BESTERNS from Denver, Colorado. Have a wonderful evening.